Oh yeah, you guys want to talk about Elden Ring? Go ahead. Can you?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
It's just a movie that
anyone
anyone can go to.
so it's not a movie.
They were telling us to tweet about it live during the presentation.
Yeah. So yeah, they are showing, what is it called? Nightreign?
Elden Ring,
Nightreign. 3-player co-op Elden Ring, essentially, where you are corralled around the map like Fortnite style, to basically gain XP during the day, and gain gear and flask uses and all that type of stuff during the day. And then during the night, you fight one mob and then a mini boss, and then you're back at it into the day again, and you do that for 2 days. And then on day 3, you go and you fight like an actual
big boss.
Yeah, a huge boss. And they said the names of the Elden Ring bosses, but I haven't been through the entire Elden Ring, so I didn't recognize like any of the like bosses that they fought.
Brian is one of them.
Brian's Roger,
and Dirty Cat.
But I mean, we were talking afterwards. It's like this game isn't bringing new Elden Ring players in,
right?
Like this
it's to extend the life of the existing Elden Ring. I mean, maybe you could argue that it's to bring new Elden Ring in if they sell it as a bundle pack.
Yeah,
and then they're trying to capture anybody who skipped Elden Ring the first time. That's about as much as far as I would go.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming out and being like, all right, it's time to get into Elden Ring. I'm going to buy Nightreign.
Well, and like just from watching that, like, I mean, it was a live gameplay. They had a developer of the game, a streamer who I've never heard of before.
There's a lot of names on placards and boards around here that you're like, yeah, okay.
And then they just chose somebody from the audience. And in our session, they asked, like, who beat Elden Ring? Like, who played the network test for this? Who beat the network test? And there was one guy.
There was only one guy.
Yeah, and they were like, you're the dude. So they like threw him up there, and he actually did really well.
Yeah.
It was just like, it's really fast Elden Ring. It's like almost Elden Ring with timers.
Yeah.
And like, I just like somebody who struggled like just playing that game in single player. I can't imagine it's like being like the weakest link in your team and being the reason that you fail every time.
Could you imagine playing that game with anybody other than like somebody that you personally know?
The most cracked people at like Elden Ring are the only people that are going to get enjoyment out of that, unfortunately.
I could see playing with like my friends regardless of skill level, but like that's because I like yelling at them. But like the thought of being a weak link and just like receiving, I mean, I guess in Elden Ring, what are they going to do? Like behold wet fart or something like that.
In that, they were talking about like if you down fully, like if your teammates can't res you, you lose like essence flask uses, you lose gear, you lose all types of stuff. So like you could basically ruin your entire run because one person like falls early and you just can't rebuild.
You think they're going to turn voice chat on in Elden Ring Nightreign? I actually kind of want to ask that question.
Yeah.
Could you imagine it would be horrible?
Yeah.
I could. Oh.
But anyway, it's an interesting idea. And I think it looks good.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like Elden Ring, I think by itself does enough numbers that like a multiplayer focused version of that would be fine.
I just struggled. Like Elden Ring was a monstrosity of a game. It's huge, right? It's massive. The length is just like the breadth of the game and map and world was very, very large. Nightreign is randomized. Every run is different. The map shifts and, the points of interest change around and stuff like that. So there's obviously some level of replayability there. But, the main thing that we're talking about is why do I beat this more than once? Like, what do I come back
because if it follows like every Elden Ring thing or every Dark Souls-esque thing, like you're starting from zero every time you go in there.
Yeah.
So other than maybe character customization and like it would all be vanity stuff, it wouldn't be like weapons or anything like that going into a thing. Like what are you working towards? Because like in Call of Duty, you're only but like you're playing the same game over and over again, but you're still unlocking new guns. You're unlocking essentially different ways to experience the game. Like in this, they were like, we have 8 heroes or 6 or however many they said, and they didn't specify that you could change out gear. Like, I'll change the spells out or something.
Yeah, can I shift my starting
Yeah.
weapons, my starting stat allocation, stuff like that.
And they said like every run starts at 0 and you like get your gear on site, and it's like, okay, so then I'm starting with like a new headpiece, or what are we starting round 2 with? Like, so I don't know. It's again, I think Elden Ring fans are gonna flock towards it. I think there's gonna be a lot of people that buy it, do exactly one run, and then never play it again. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll this is definitely a big way for reviews personally for me, because like it's just like I struggled to see like where it would fit in for me. Elden Ring made a lot of sense for me, because like even with limited amount of time, you can still just chunk away at it, and you don't really lose anything from the experience. With this, I don't see myself enjoying it without 2 other people that I personally know playing it at the same time, and then B, it's like, also, by the way, if I only beat this twice, then it was kind of like not worth it for me, because we sat through the entire run. It's about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and that's with kind of somebody who's been doing it, who's there to be paid to do it. 2 people there paid to do it. So they know the game. They already clearly they're directing the third person on where to go and what to do. So they're moving through it really fast. Obviously, it's timed anyway. The nighttime comes regardless. So basically it's going to take you 45 minutes or you lose earlier than that. So it's like, you're going to pay $40 for an hour and a half of play. I don't know.
And we didn't see this, but they mentioned it that like before you start your run, like you choose which like Elden God to fight at the end.
Oh,
so
right.
you're like trying to spec your builds and stuff to get yourself to that fight. But like everything in between that is random. So like you might like be specking towards that fight, but then all the fights up to that you're specking against, because that's just how it is. Like
but again, in even that thought process, like that's not enough. I mean, obviously I'm speaking personally, but like that wouldn't be enough to be like, man, I got to get in another run of Nightreign.
Yeah,
I really got to see the variability.
Yeah, it definitely, I think it leads to a lot of frustration in those games.
We'll see.
Doubling or tripling it with.
I feel like I'm missing something, because they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
just like I don't know.
All right.
It's going to turn out that there's like something really like, oh yeah, there's this progression system in here. It's like, oh, we just didn't see it.
Yeah.